Today we're going to cook Moule Mariniere, which is a French dish, cooking mussels in white wine and shallots and butter and parsley. It's an absolutely beautiful dish, one of my favourites, and you sit and have a big bowl of it with bread. Here we are in the outdoors and in a public place by an old church. Today we're going to cook Moule Mariniere, which is a French dish, cooking mussels in white wine and shallots and butter and parsley. It's an absolutely beautiful dish, one of my favourites, and you sit and have a big bowl of it with bread. Why am I talking about that? Well, I'm thinking of a Bible story, and I'm thinking of the time when the new church in the New Testament was being formed. And Peter had been preaching and starting all these new churches, but they were churches for Jews. It was a Jewish religion, if you like. They were following Jesus, but it was for Jews. And Peter has this dream one night, and in the dream, all this weird food came down in a kind of being held in a blanket or on a table. And it was pig's feet and mussels and oysters, and it was weird food for the Jewish mind. And this voice came from heaven and said, Peter, eat. It's clean. It's okay. Include this in your culture. And Peter was shocked by this vision, but he knew what it was about. And the story unfolds. But really, what the message is that at that time, God was wanting to convey to the Jews that the religion that they followed wasn't just for them. It was for everybody, for all nations, for all the foreigners to be included in their church. And this was foreign food. It was food that the Jews would have gone, oh, that's disgusting, it's horrible, it's unclean. And all of a sudden, this revelation, this is okay now. This is okay in your church culture. And this is a really relevant message for today. How are we as the church including the foreigner amongst us? Those that are different, those that don't fit or don't tick all the right boxes. How inclusive are we? Because this message from God is that all peoples should be included. So I thought it would be really cool to cook Moule Mariniere for you. And I want you to be thinking about this topic of inclusion and loving all people exactly as they are. So I'm going to chop a shallot up real quick. We start with putting some shallot into some hot butter. It needs to be with real butter. Don't use any fake butters. Don't use vegetable oil or anything like that. Do it with butter because it emulsifies with the wine. I'm going to do a bit of a twist on this. So onions in. I'm actually not going to use wine. I have here some beautiful English cider. So it's foreign again, foreign even to the French. And this cider comes from where I grew up in the West Midlands. It's really good quality cider. And we're going to cook the mussels in that. So the mussels go in. And we give it a bit of a shake. And as soon as that heat comes up, the cider's going in. Can you get that? So the lid goes on, and mussels cook very, very quickly. And when you're checking them through, I'm using some pre-cooked mussels just for the time's sake. But when you've got live mussels, if there's any that are open, throw them away. They're probably gone off. Unless you kind of test them, give them a squeeze. If they shut, then they're still alive. And when you've cooked, if there's some that haven't opened, throw those away as well. You can get ill off mussels if they're old, but if they're fresh, they're just beautiful. So they'll cook quickly in that steam, and that cider and the butter is kind of emulsifying and creating this magical sauce. It's pretty much ready. Oh, it smells amazing. I personally think that cider is better in this dish, but don't tell anyone I said that. So we're going to finish it with a little bit of parsley. And again, this dish is really great for a main meal, and it's really, really enjoyable with bread, just dipping a French baguette in, or an English loaf. So here we go. Lid off. And there we have it. Some of the parsley on top. And we're finished. Moule Mariniere, cooked with cider, so kind of British with a British twist. And again, think about this topic of God saying to us, to all of us, my good news, my kingdom is for all people, all nations, all ethnicities, all backgrounds. The invitation into my kingdom is an open one, and it's for all people. Let us remember that and practice that and think about that every time you eat kind of foreign dishes. Thanks for coming. If you've enjoyed this, please like or subscribe and share it with your friends. Take care for now.